I'm very aggravated. I don't think this was handled properly by the prosecution. I believe that they should have consulted in person with each of the families of the victims and discussed what was going on and why they were coming to this decision to offer this deal. In addition, I feel that they were able to make this negotiation with the defense team, and I don't understand why they didn't negotiate the fact that Bryan should get up there and explain exactly what he did. He's going to spend the rest of his life in prison without the possibility of parole. For that alone, he should have been forced to say exactly what he did, confess to what he did, okay? And I don't understand the prosecution at all.
There's a lot of people who are angry about this, and there's mixed emotions, and Ed and I, we share those mixed emotions and that anger.
My name's Bill Thompson. I'm the Latah County prosecutor, and it's sad to be here, but happy to be here at the same time. As Chief Fry indicated, a criminal complaint was filed yesterday here in Latah County, charging the defendant, Mr. Kohberger, with 4 counts of first-degree murder, in addition to felony burglary, which involves entering the residence with the intent to commit the crime of murder.
The court is not supposed to, and this court will never take into account public sentiment in making an opinion regarding its judicial decisions in cases. Courts should, and I always will, make decisions based on where the facts and the law lead me, period. I have not read any of the numerous messages nor listened to any of the numerous voicemails that have been sent to me and my staff where appropriate to law enforcement. I ask that you not continue to mount such campaigns or to send me information like this, because, again, it is not appropriate and, frankly, not something I would take into account when deciding a matter in a case like this. I, like most everyone else, learned of this plea agreement Monday afternoon and had no inkling of it beforehand. Prior to that time, I was under the belief that this case was proceeding to trial, as had been indicated, and my staff and I were busy continuing to work on preparations to have potentially 10,000 citizens of Ada County come to jury duty starting in mid-July. And do you understand the nature of the charges that you've been charged with, that I understand you're going to plead guilty today to?
Yes.
Has anyone promised you that I would be lenient or easy on you if you pled guilty?
No.
Has anyone threatened you or anyone close to you to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Has anyone, other than the state's agreements with respect to the plea agreement, has anyone promised you anything in exchange for your plea agreement?
No.
Has anyone told you to be untruthful in answering my questions today?
No.
Has anyone offered you a reward of any kind other than the plea agreement?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
And Mr. Kohberger, do you understand that by entering the guilty plea in this case, you would be giving up your right to appeal any decision this court made, as well as your sentence? Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Given your choices, do you believe it's in your best interest to plead guilty?
Yes.
Have you discussed fully the matter of pleading guilty with your attorney, and are you satisfied with the advice you've received?
Yes.
Has your attorney advised you to your satisfaction about what your rights are, what your defenses may be, and what the possible consequences to you of your guilty plea are?
Yes.
Has your attorney done everything you've asked them to do?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with their representation of you?
Yes.
I have received a written guilty plea advisory questionnaire that is purported to be filled out by you. Did you fill that document out?
Yes.
Did you understand the questions that you answered in this document?
Yes.
And are the answers that are outlined in this document your answers?
Yes.
Are those answers truthful?
Yes.
Did you sign the document?
Yes.
All right. So as to count 1 burglary, the state would have to have proven that on or about November 13, 2022 in Latah County, Idaho, you unlawfully entered a residence located at 1122 King Road in Moscow, Idaho, with the intent to commit the felony crime of murder. As to count 2, the state would have had to have proven that on or about that same date in Latah County, Idaho, you did willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, with premeditation and malice of forethought, kill and murder Madison Mogen a human being, by stabbing Madison Mogen, from which she died. As to count 3, the state would have had to have proven that on that same date in Latah County, at that same address, you did willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, with premeditation and malice aforethought, kill and murder Kaylee Gonzalez, a human being, by stabbing her, from which she died. As to count 4, the state would have had to have proven that on or about that same date in Latah County, Idaho, you did willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, with premeditation and malice aforethought, kill and murder Xana Kernodle, a human being, by stabbing her, from which she died. And then as to count 5, also murder on the 15th, 2022, in Latah County, Idaho, you did willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, with premeditation and malice aforethought, kill and murder Ethan Chapin, a human being, by stabbing him, from which he died. Do you understand those things the state would have had to have proven?
Yes.
And do you understand that by pleading guilty, the state no longer has to prove those things because you're admitting those things are true?
Yes.
And did you agree with the written factual basis that is included there?
Yes.
And then,
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot. It was emotional from the time we lined up outside. We were waiting right outside the courtroom, and all of the victims' families walked by us, and it was just totally silent, and you could see the pain in their faces as they went inside. We got inside, it was totally full. Nicole, everyone was kind of scrunched in, and Bryan Kohberger was brought in, and just to hear him admit to these crimes after covering this for so long and him maintaining his innocence, what was just really striking. I mean, they went through each count, they went through each person that he murdered several times, and he admitted that he was guilty.
Good afternoon. I'm Leander James from the law firm of James, Vernon and Weeks in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. For the past 2 years, I've had the privilege and the honor to provide pro bono representation in this criminal case for Karen Laramie and Scott Laramie, the loving mother and stepfather of Maddie Mogen. I will be reading a statement of gratitude today from the Laramies. 962 days ago, we lost our Maddie, our kind, loving, vivacious, and caring daughter full of purpose and promise. We are grateful for the gift of her life, and we have grieved the loss of that life during each of these 962 days. We love you, Maddie, and we miss you. We are grateful for the gift of the young, vivacious, promising lives of Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. And we deeply, deeply mourn their senseless loss. We remain in solidarity with their families and friends, and we continue to shower them with our prayers and support. We are grateful for their prayers, love, and support that they have given us. They have helped us and sustained us during our darkest times. We are grateful to the prosecutor, Bill Thompson, and his dedicated and caring team, including victim coordinators, Kim and Stacy, who have helped to guide us through the sometimes confusing and disorienting legal process. Thank you for all your dedicated, diligent, and tireless commitment to justice and the successful outcome reached today. We support the plea agreement 100%. While we know there are some who do not support it, we ask that they respect our belief that this is the best outcome possible for the victims, their families, and the state of Idaho. We extend our deep gratitude to the many law enforcement officers and staff who worked tirelessly to obtain the critical evidence that brought justice today, including the Moscow Police Department, the FBI, the Idaho State Patrol, and the Latah County Sheriff's Department. We are deeply grateful to Judge Hippler and Judge John Judge before him. We thank you for your diligence, thoughtfulness, and judicial guidance. We appreciate the difficult work you have done to balance the rights of all involved and to uphold the rule of law. You have had our prayers and support throughout this case. We send our love and gratitude to the many family and friends who have supported us, cared for us, and helped us to heal our open emotional wounds. To the good people of North Idaho who have showered us with kindness and support, we thank you. We also mourn today with you the recent tragic and senseless loss of 2 brave North Idaho firefighters. We extend our prayers and support to their families. You are not alone. We understand your pain. For all parents who have endured the loss of a child, we know recovery is a long and at times an almost unbearable journey. But you are not alone, and there is hope and there is healing. We thank those in the press who have respected our privacy and the grieving process, and the privacy and grieving process of the families of Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. To others in the press, we gently encourage you to do the same. We thank the many people across our nation and beyond who have reached out to us, prayed for us, and extended their kindness. You too have helped us on our journey to heal. We now embark on a new path. We turn from tragedy and mourning. We turn from darkness and uncertainty of the legal process to the light of the future. We have closure. We embark on a path of hope and healing. We invite all of those who have mourned with us to join us.
It's justice when you don't have to torture families that have been already through the most horrific thing they could ever imagine. And I don't want another day of this. And they're talking about decades.
Gonzalez's family posted on Facebook within minutes of the news of a deal going public that they're mad. They went on to say, quote, "I would like to clarify a couple of things. We did talk to the prosecution on Friday about the possibility of a plea deal, and it was a hard no from our family. Sunday night, we received an email that sent us scrambling. We immediately jumped into panic mode and started making phone calls and sending emails. We met with prosecution again today to reiterate our views on pushing for the death penalty. Unfortunately, all of our efforts did not matter. We did our best. We fought harder than anyone could ever imagine. Please do not argue or try to tell us that we should have done this or that. We gave it 200% for the last 2 years and 7 months. One day, we will tell you all what we have really been through from day one. You will all be shocked. We fought a long battle, but we lost the war. We did gain an army of love that we know will always stand by us. We have so much love for each and every one of you. You all gave us strength when we felt like we couldn't take another step."
Well, from the moment the details of this plea deal were released to the public Monday afternoon, the family of Kaylee Gonzalez has been very vocally opposed to this. The family of the victim ended up going in. The father, however, Steve, did not go in a form of protest. Instead, he ended up talking to reporters.
"We know what he's planning on doing. Somebody died, a vet died, and he's going to try to say that, put the blame on that person. So he's not going to take accountability. And Thompson didn't force him to take accountability. He didn't even negotiate it. That's terrible."
You don't think 4 life sentences is justice?
No, of course not. It's daycare. Prison is daycare, people.
We just decided maybe it was best to tell our story of Ethan literally one time. He deserves it. He deserves our story of him.
I miss him every day. When you lose your son at 20, it's different. It's a different loss. And I miss him every single day. And I always will.
We played every sport together. Every time we went in the car, it was together. Partied together. There was never a dull moment.
The night before Ethan was killed, Maisie brought him to her sorority formal. She now cherishes the text he sent her before bed.
So he started off by texting me, I think he said, "Dog, come hang out. We all want you here." And I said, "I'm going to bed." And then he said, "Love you." And I didn't even respond to that. I think I was asleep by then.
And the "I love you" kind of stood out, though.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Hunter, who pledged Sigma Chi with Ethan, says the next morning, a friend at the fraternity woke him up saying the police were at Xana's house.
Hunter Johnson came up to me and said, I was like, "Where's Ethan and Xana?" And he's like, "They're not here anymore." So like, "What do you mean they're not here anymore?" He's like, "I think they were murdered last night."
Hunter was forced to call his family with the news, his parents in disbelief.
It drives me crazy because I've always wanted to protect my family. And there's really nothing there that I could have done. Instantly he was taken.
Interview that Stacy Chapin did, and she made a great point. She said, no matter what the outcome is, no matter what happens in this proceeding, I'm not going to get my son back. Everybody else is not going to have their daughters back. There's 4 separate families here that have two sides to it. They have a mom and a dad, and aunts, uncles, and everybody in between.
Oh, 100%, 100%. You're not going to get full consensus on any issue. So, it's 50-50 split amongst the families here. But I know that many of us in the criminal justice system, like myself and you, would prefer DP over what's going on here. But again, any case is a crapshoot. Okay. Right. Especially when you're in front of a jury like this. If it was a judge trial with the amount of evidence that was present here, I would be a little more comfortable with the DP, with a judge, as opposed to a jury. But it is what it is. The bottom line is, while the family of the victims can voice their opinions, the prosecution has the final say. Well, technically, the judge has the final say on any plea deal. Let's see if the judge steps in and says, okay, yeah, I'm going to agree to this, but I'm going to need a little more, but I doubt it.
Right. I highly doubt that. And a lot of people in chat are asking that question. And it's a valid question, because we all we come last. But the families, we heard from, Kaylee Gonzalez's dad. He was on Banfield, he was on all the different news outlets, and he said, the prosecution let me down, let my family down. We want to hear the details, and we want this guy to receive what he deserves at the end of a trial, which is the death penalty by firing squad there in Idaho. The bottom line here is that even with it going the way that Mr. Gonzalez wanted it to go, you would look at 20 plus years of appeals and stalling this death penalty from happening. So we could look at 20, 30, maybe even more years of Bryan Kohberger still being alive. With this, now he gets to rot. He gets to rot from the inside out, inside a cell, inside a facility that has bugs and roaches and things crawling all over him at night, and also nowhere near what he saw and what he had been housed here in county jail will he have in an Idaho state maximum prison. So Bryan Kohberger, make no mistake, with this sentence, with 4 life sentences, he will not have any good days. Yeah, he may have some rec time. He may have this. He may have that tablet that people talk about. He may have this. But everything that he does while incarcerated is going to be a struggle. There are inmates there that are murderers alongside him. He's going to eventually be in with population, Ed. We know, we talk to many executives and professionals from the corrections field. You can't protect him for his whole life inside maximum security prison. He's going to have a struggle every day with going to the shower, with going to the mess hall, with going to the library, or wherever he goes. He's going to have to worry about somebody getting him, because these guys that he's around, it's only going to be males, are all bad, super, super bad people. And he may not be a hero in there, because maybe one of them has a daughter, maybe one of them has a son, that these are innocent victims that he took their lives. So maybe some of these really bad guys might not really like what he did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and given some of his meal issues and his
social,
they said he may have OCD or whatever the case may be. It's different than what he's experiencing now in jail, because he's in a jail, right? And he's pretty much isolated for the most part. But when he goes to Gen Pop in a prison, it's going to be a different life that I'm not too sure how he's going to handle that.